I was just warned not to take it any further because of what a dangerous man he is. And
they say looking back is like ripping off a plaster. But now Jen and Lindsay are the first two Harrods survivors to go public with their rejection of the company's compensation scheme.
From everyone of the survivors that I've been speaking to, there's not anyone that I know that is tempted to even look at the redress scheme. I know that the feeling is very mutual amongst many of us. We were absolutely horrified when it got leaked to the press on Mother's Day. That really did shock us, and it triggered us all again as well very much.
This is not about money. This has never been about a compensation payment. Yeah. Personally, I find it very uncomfortable talking about the money. I don't know how you monetize the situation that we've been through and the years of damage that have been caused to all of us. And if that leads me to court in order to have that heard, then, you know, that's where I'd like to be.
260 women are now part of the civil legal proceedings against the company, which Mohammed Al Fayed sold in 2010 to the Qatar Investment Authority. He died 2 years ago without being prosecuted. The Met Police has now reopened the criminal investigation, looking at claims against people who worked for him.
There would be hundreds of enablers out there. I mean, literally hundreds and hundreds of them, if we're thinking about how many decades of how many women, you know, got assaulted and the such. So these people, they know who they are, and we know who they are, and I do want them to face the inquiries and the investigation, as they should, because they really wreck lives, you know. They really wreck lives.
Met Police have been obviously criticised. Is what they're doing now relevant, or are you not concerned about what is happening there?
No, as Lindsay said, it means an awful lot. I'm very happy that they've opened an investigation. They tell us in no uncertain terms that the Met Police of today is a very different organisation to the one that we perhaps encountered 20, 30 years ago.
Many of Al Fayed's young staff were forced to undergo internal medical examinations. Those women are now outraged that the Harrods redress scheme requires them to take psychiatric tests run by the company. In a statement to 5 News, Harrods refused to quantify how many people have accepted offers, but said,
"We can confirm that payments have started to be made."
It questioned what percentage of the compensation will be taken by law firms at the end of court proceedings, and continued that the Harrods scheme
mirrors the court's approach to levels of compensation, applying the same general damages guidelines used by judges when determining awards for sexual abuse, and we appreciate that it is not the only route available for survivors.
On the psychiatric test, Harrods said,
"If a survivor chooses to pursue a civil claim through the courts, they would be required to disclose their medical records and to undertake medical assessments."
Yes, well, we understand that.
And we're in that process already.
We're already in that process, but not led by Harrods.
I think for me, just that one single point was enough for me to say that the redress scheme doesn't work for me. There are many other points on which it doesn't work, but for me, that was the single biggest red flag of not wanting to be remotely involved.
I can't think for the life of me why they think we would be trusting them to see any doctor again. I mean, I've been scared of doctors since that day.
Working at this famous store changed their lives forever. Decades later, Jen and Lindsay and many others are determined to find some sort of justice. Simon Viger, 5 News.
We really appreciate them both speaking to us. Simon's in the studio with us now. And let's just be clear on this, Simon. There's this civil case, isn't there, that Jen and Lindsay are part of, but also a reopened police investigation.
Yeah, that's right. So Mohammed Al Fayed can't be prosecuted. He died in 2023, but the Met Police has confirmed it's looking at claims against several people who work for him. They're talking about facilitating or enabling, so we await progress on that. The Met itself is being investigated on how it dealt with complaints against Al Fayed in the 80s and 90s, and then you have the civil case as well. Jen and Lindsay both say it's not about the money, it's about accountability. And in part 2 of my chat with them tomorrow, they talk about the mutual support network, the incredible network that's grown up, and also how they want to help young women today.
OK, well, I look forward to watching that tomorrow as well. Simon, thank you. And if you've been affected by anything you've just heard from Simon or in his report, or hearing from Jen and Lindsay, there's some really useful websites out there and charities who can offer support, including rapecrisis.org.uk. We've put those details on the screen for you now.